Now, Arsenal this season, folks, it hasn't always been pretty. It has been risky, but we've been making it. We're doing what we need to do where the Premier League's concerned. We're tigging along. I'm not going to lie, though. I'm a bit nervous, people. You know, at the weekend, we're playing an informed side. We travel away from home, although generally we do better away from home. Last two Premier League games won't say that. You lot know we've got Aston Villa, who sit third in the table. We sit first, people. They have just battered Manchester City. Of course, the scoreline doesn't reflect a battering. City did have chances, but Unai Emery's men completely dominated Manchester City. They had no answers. You know, they couldn't really fashion any shots. You know, they didn't allow them to really shoot. You know, Leon Bailey, the best player in the world, I got to spread the Jamaican propaganda, made the difference. When we look at Aston Villa, we know what to expect. They're a great side with a great manager, a great project, and a number of good players, which we'll get onto lately. In a second, sorry, I don't know why I said lately. With Manchester City in their last 5 games kind of having a wobble, we know they will hit back. So if you're an Arsenal or Liverpool fan or even Aston Villa or anyone that's in a title chase, you have to take advantage. We look at our next couple of games, people, from now to the end of the year. We've got some difficult tests starting on Saturday with Aston Villa. In fact, they've won their last 14 Premier League home games in a row. The last team that beat them at their place was obviously Arsenal in that dramatic comeback from behind last season, people. And it's poetic, really. The Premier League gods have something in store for us because Arsenal visit Villa Park next. We can't have any mistakes. We can't have any errors. We've committed 5 errors leading to goals, individual errors. That can't happen against an informed side like Aston Villa, who will be smelling blood, who will be quite bullish. And, you know, Arsenal, as much as I love my club, football is an emotional roller coaster. And the last couple of games have reflected that with Arsenal, with Brentford away and definitely Luton, people. So hopefully it's smooth sailing. We've had 11 different goal scorers, people, in our last 11 goals. We're going to need everyone. Now, I'm sure the whole Ramsdale versus David Raya debate, a lot of fans are sick to their stomachs. It does feel like two clowns. When you look at both of them, you know, Raya has played 15 games. Ramsdale's played 8. Raya has 7 clean sheets to Ramsdale's 3. Raya has conceded 13 goals to Ramsdale's 8. Conceded per game, Raya is at 0.9, Ramsdale is at 1. Save percentages, Raya is still ahead with 65.8 to Ramsdale's 61.9. Passing accuracy, you know, he dwarfs Ramsdale as well with 74.3% to 65. You know, he has made 3 errors leading to goals. Ramsdale hasn't got none, people. Goals prevented is both in the negative. So we don't really know who's the number one beyond the obvious. I love my football club. Saturday we go to war. It's going to be a game filled with emotions. In Declan Rice, we trust. I think every Arsenal fan would say that. You know, when you look at Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, 100 million doesn't guarantee quality. Ironically, Declan Rice has scored 1 goal and assisted 2 goals in his last 2 appearances at Villa Park. So can the difference maker, the magic man who did that away at Luton, can he do it in Birmingham? No, we're going to need Timber's prayers, people. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot the messenger. But they say in life, like in football, if you can't win, don't lose. Of course, I want to beat Aston Villa, mainly because City are dropping points. If you want to win the title, you need to take advantage. But if you can't win, don't lose. And when you look at their last couple of results since they lost to us, they've, you know, dealt with the business at Villa Park. Villa Park is one of the most dangerous games based on statistics to go into. And it's almost a 6-pointer based on the fact that 2 teams right now are first and third, respectively. We all know everyone will be waiting. Folks, Aston Villa versus Arsenal. It's still fresh in the mind of last season, people. Now, obviously, this is a 6-pointer. It's a 6-pointer for a couple of reasons. Obviously, it's first versus third. You know, if you're Liverpool, you're looking and seeing what could potentially be the outcome of this game. Obviously, both teams on paper in a title race. Again, it's too early in December, the 7th of December, actually making this video to be talking about title races. But all that matters is points on the board. And statistically, both teams are. So it's a 6-pointer taking points off your rivals. Man City, apologies, will hit back and they will get back on form and they will show why they've been the big bad bullies in the Premier League. But anytime we can exploit that and keep things ticking over, I'm all for it. Respectfully to Aston Villa, they're seen as an ambitious club, you know, spending the Jack Grealish money well, littered with stars. Unai Emery thrives in the underdog tag. There's a reason it didn't work out for him at Arsenal, and it didn't work out for him really at PSG, regardless of what he's won. And when he's thrived at Aston Villa now, rightly so, he's a great manager. And obviously, you know, his league finishes statistically throughout his career are not necessarily the best, but he thrives in cup competition. Aston Villa will be relishing Arsenal or anyone else that they play, really and truly, purely because this is a big week. They've just taken off the head of the big bad bullies, you know, the Debos in Manchester City. So who are Arsenal? They should be willing, you know, willing and ready to perform. And obviously they've got two ex-Arsenal men in Unai Emery. Probably wants to show Mikel Arteta he's the big dog. Obviously, where you look at David Raya and Ramsdale, that's the debate in itself. Emi Martinez has gone from strength to strength. And you know, last year at Villa Park, he didn't cover himself in glory, so I'm sure he's going to want to do well. We all know they play exciting football. They've got difference makers all about the field. One of the most underrated players, and even underrated in their victory against Manchester City, would probably be McGinn. Only thing he could have done is probably score. They've got McGinn, they've got Camara, obviously Douglas Luiz, and set pieces are going to be vital. Douglas Luiz relishes it. Remember, a few years ago, he scored basically from the corner flag. Obviously, Watkins is the man of the moment, and if you score in games like this, Southgate's going to take you in a bit more. Diaby's been great. I personally think we're going to have to watch their fullbacks as well, whether it's Matty Cash and Luca Dean or whoever. They're very good attacking fullbacks. And again, if I'm Aston Villa, you know, Luton game exploited that Arsenal might be having a bit of a wobble defensively from set pieces, and even for the goal that Raya could have done better for Barclays, but 4 or 5 Arsenal players, you know, Benjamin White, one fault of his is sometimes he gets caught flat-footed and is a bit slow to engage. And in that game, we didn't follow runners, so it's going to be a difficult test, really. Where I wouldn't say Aston Villa are necessarily the underdogs, but quote unquote they are. They were a great club, with, you know, who are finally doing what Villa fans have been deserved for a couple of years. They've got quality littered throughout. We're going to have to stand up to be counted on Saturday evening. I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous. If you can't win, don't lose. Of course, I want to keep winning. There's nothing like winning games of football and taking maximum points. And I do want to win, don't get it mistaken, but going into this game, I would take a point to live to fight another day. But 3 points would be a step in a great direction, if I'm honest. And again, I think there's plenty of areas throughout Arsenal that Aston Villa could look to exploit. But also, we've got to remember we're in form. We've got a new grit and mentality. We relish being in these sort of situations. Again, it's premature to be talking about title challenges, in my opinion, for Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool, even Manchester City. I think it's all about points on the board. When you get out of January, looking at February, obviously you can talk on these things, but when you get out of that period, that's when I think a picture's going to start to be told. There's plenty of things that Arsenal have done well. There's plenty of things we could do a lot better. I'm very nervous, but I hope come the end of 90 minutes at Villa Park, I'm proven wrong, really and truly. I don't really know the purpose of this video beyond everything we've spoken about, but nonetheless, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button and all of that good stuff. Stay blessed, stay safe. I'm out.
There's always just that active red flag defenders. I think it's like